All right, let's go. We're here. Huh? Better late than never, but we're here. Okay. Get situated. Right? How are we doing on this fine? It's hot. It's going to be 90 degrees here tomorrow, and then it's going to be in the mid-70s all next week. So it's nice. The weather will warm up the water. Not that I need the fishing to get any better than it's been the last 2 times. Holy crap. So, all right, let's see who we got here. I can't see a thing. Real says Kreider possibly being traded to the Ducks. Interesting. The destruction of the Rangers continues, huh? Coot, how you doing? JC, Steven, Connor. Another day you don't have to use blood pressure medication, right? Coot says, good day off. Not going to lie, a little bored without hockey or hockey content, but it just builds anticipation for the next one. The boys need to come out and do the same thing. I got something coming a little bit later. It's just a little something. But I got a video coming out later this afternoon. Yeah, later this afternoon. Yeah, Steven's still hearing a lot of crying about the income tax. Right? I love how Bettman kind of just told him to basically shut up, Biz. Skyler, how you doing, bud? Green Loogie. I probably didn't see it, but Eck posted a video. Boy, I can't wait for the Panthers to win the cup so I can shave this. Brush my teeth. The beard gets soaked. That's why. I don't like it. He says you probably didn't see, but Eck posted a video saying Bedman missed the mark and probably cried about taxes. Not sure, I didn't watch, but he was getting lambasted in his comments. I got to see that. Come on, man. Craig says 95 2 days ago, and we're set for mid-70s for a week. Yeah, that's always nice in the summer, right? We had one year where we had a really nice 4th of July here. It was like 72, 58 at night. Sometimes you get 102, though. IDK says apparently Ekblad's going to test free agency. I don't know. I don't believe anything I see. Steven says, when I asked him who's on the Panthers, did we get because of no state income tax? No one gives an answer. Exactly. The only guys that we've signed that have taken discounts are Reinhardt and Forsling. Everybody else is on old contracts. I mean, we signed Bennett when we first got him, but he wasn't worth a ton of money then. Get a high cost of living. Hey, True, how you doing, bud? Not yet. Oh, my God, JC. Oh, my God. I am not reading that. Who says even when people brought up the fact that the tax advantage didn't help us for the previous years, he still pivoted to saying something about the cap and spending up to the cap. Well, that's good ownership, spending up to the cap. That's Guitar Crow. I don't know why Tampa didn't get the same criticism. I don't understand it. They don't like Kachuk. They don't like Maurice. They don't like Bennett. They just don't like us. Colin says the Oilers will probably have changes tomorrow via the coach. You got to do something after that game, right? Real says Eck hates the Panthers. It's pretty obvious. Stop watching that guy. Yeah, I every once in a while, like I don't want to knock on a fellow YouTuber. I'm not a fan. I mean, he's doing his thing. He gets his views. Good for him. That's what I'll say. Just not my cup of tea. I'm sure he ain't watching my videos for the talent. Derek says the Stars are taking calls on Jason Robertson, but GM Jim Nill, say that 5 times, is hesitant to move him. As they look to free up some cap space, they're shopping Mason Marchment. Yeah, I heard about the Marchment one. That would make some sense. He's not been great in the playoffs, but I'm sure a team like maybe Toronto might think he could give them a little bit of help. Scholar says, I love how the crowd screamed Skinner all night like they did the Bob. Difference is Bob is a much better goalie and didn't let it get to him. We got to keep it loud Thursday. I agree. John, Kyle's actually awake. He's actually awake. He's downstairs doing some eBay work. The main worry, RC says the main worry right now is hearing that our main stars have had zero skate time on the days off. While the Oilers had more intensity and cardio in theirs. Yeah, I trust them too, RC. I trust them to know exactly what to do. Steven says, I watched the Eck video and he said that teams playing in income tax state provinces essentially get a higher cap. Oh, good Lord. All I can say is I ain't going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Koo says, even though we never signed a big-time free agent that really helped us in that time, aside from Bob, which was seen as a gross overpay. Exactly. The only free agent we really, right? Because everybody else has been trades or the waiver wire. We drafted Barkov. We picked up Verhaeghe, free agency, but he was just let go by Tampa. Reinhart was a trade, and then we signed him. Bennett was a trade, and then we signed him. Kachuk was a trade, and then we signed him. Lundell was drafted. Luostarinen was a trade, and we signed him. We know about Marchand. Ekblad was a draft pick. Forsling was waiver wire. Mikkola was free agency. He wasn't worth a ton of money at that point. I mean, but don't confuse them with facts, I guess. IDK, what are they doing? I trust Maurice. If Maurice says they don't, we were just skating them to death, IDK. I like the idea. Just take your 2 days rest your legs, go out there and be able to expend a ton of energy on Thursday night. True says, I'm up early today. Bennett says he loves playing here and doesn't want to move. Yeah. Hungry says Egg tried to call out Bettman and he got wrecked in the comments. I'll have to watch that one. JC says Edmonton and all of Canada is saying they should give us premeditated penalties for waking up on game day. Oh, let me scroll down to the bottom here. What's this? Hey, thank you, Skylar. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Skylar. Go Cats. Yeah. For Wagon, Wallman was fined 10, 5,000 for the water bottle, and then 5,000 for punching Kachuk while whoever it was holding him. Hungry says the irony of our best free agent signing from the dark days is 40-year-old Yager says it all. Yeah. Oilers fans are also raging that Wallman was fined. They're saying Edmonton was forced into playing dirty by the Panthers and that the refs caused it. Oh my God. Owls. Adonis, what was the question? Hold on, I'm scrolling down. Oh, John says rank our defensemen 1 to 6 right now. Forsling. Mikkola. Excuse me. Forsling, Jones, Mikkola, Ekblad, Kulikov, Schmidt. If I'm going by terms of trust, Forsling, Jones, Mikkola, Ekblad, Kulikov, Schmidt. That would be my rankings. It's always Ekblad's fault. Thank you, that Bob Sands guy. Appreciate that. Yeah, Klingberg held Chucky while Wallman punched him. Right. And they're complaining he got fined. RC says to follow the prediction, if the Cats win tomorrow, you can see a 6-1 Oilers win on Saturday because they travel into 1 day off. I mean, I'll take a home game 6 with the Panthers up 3-2. I love to win it in 5, but I don't know if Edmonton fans and Canadian fans in general would survive if Florida won this game, won it in 5. I know the cane slash to the face. Yeah, cool. Right. You're you're not better than Barkov. Exactly. Oh my God, Owls. That's such a good point. Steven says, I watched Frozen Oil's video and I just found it hilarious. You spoke like Edmonton was the much better team. There was one that Colby sent me that basically was like, we showed Florida, we won't back down, we won't take their bullying. And it's like, okay, all we care about this is we're laughing at them. We're laughing at them. Hungry says that I see the video of Oilers fans fighting at their watch party. I'm kind of sad TNT didn't cut to them. No. Hey, Thomas. Rangers are trading Kreider to the Ducks. The Ducks the Ducks might have a minute next year. Patel, is Jones Ekblad's replacement? Yes and no. Yes and no. So if Ekblad leaves, you're going to put Jones with Forsling. But I think that we'd still be willing to see Ekblad sign a contract, but it's going to have to be for probably less than he'd get on the open market. IDK was all women fighting? Wow. Coot says they complain about the taxes, but they'll bring up the advantages that we don't have, like cost of living, and how Canadian bigger market teams will have way more endorsement money available. Right. Oh, and there's no doubt about that. Now, I don't know if there's differences in the TV contracts with Sportsnet. I don't know how that works. But for the individual players, I just don't know what. I was happy with Bettman's response, right? Yeah, another Rangers Ducks trade. Yeah. Al says Marner has the Panthers high on his list. I don't think that's how it works, Marner. Like, why would we pay Marner? Why would we do that? Like, that is the epitome of a guy that we don't need. You know, and Canadian teams get the currency exchange benefit too. Right. Yeah, Alchemist. Marner's not a fit here. Salary-wise, play-wise, it would not make any sense at all for us to do that. Yeah, and he wants $13 million. Like, I saw a video earlier today. I think it was TSN, and they were talking about how they were thinking Ekblad will get an 8x8, and he was thinking Ekblad and Bennett. One of the guys was saying Ekblad and Bennett could get an 8x8. The Canadian media is wishing for what they would want to happen instead of actually paying attention to what is happening. Ekblad needs to take five or less. Who says, I'm sure Austin Matthews gets a pretty penny from the Tim Hortons and has billboards all over the city. which you don't really see anywhere as near, with Panther stuff outside of Broward. Right. Yeah, TSN is saying Bennett will get $10 million in Canada. The one guy was like, if the Panthers win again and they've won 2 in a row, that Bennett and Ekblad might be like, well, that's good enough. Let me go get paid instead of trying to win 3 in a row. RC says, we're not high on Marner's list. Someone at TSN said he would assume Panthers would be high on his list. The analyst was asked, what's more likely, Bennett to Toronto or Marner to the Cats? I mean, just no. They're going to be crying when Bennett signs for 6 years at $7 million, and Ekblad takes a 5x5, so Marchand will take 4x4. They're going to be crying. I hope that happens. What was that? 7, 5, and 4. That's $16 million. Oh, that's almost enough money to flesh out the roster. Can somebody play for free? We already talked about just putting Tkachuk on LTIR. Can you imagine the meltdown? I know we've joked about it, kind of talked about it. Maybe not. Can you imagine the meltdown if after the season Chucky goes and gets surgery and it puts himself on LTIR and gives the Panthers the money to just pay Bennett, pay Ekblad, pay Marchand, and then Tkachuk comes back for the playoffs? I mean, I want that to happen so bad, not just because it's good for the Panthers, but just the unlimited buffet of reaction content that would bring this channel. I mean, I'd be a millionaire. If that happens, I can just sit here all day live streaming horrible reactions to it. Silva says, I'm going to be honest, the Panthers should be playing the next 3 or 4 games as if it was game 7 and they're down 3 in the third. 100% agree. 100% agree. Al says Bennett is now favored for the Conn Smythe. If we win, that's where I would go. Trey says Bennett's getting the same 8.65 that Reinhart got. It's probably, yeah. I mean, I'd love for him to take less. That's high. I mean, might have to do it. I mean, hey, look, just sign Bennett, sign Marchand, and whatever's left, Ekblad, just take $1 million. Just take $1 million. All right, Ekblad, 8 years, $1 million. What if Ekblad what if the Panthers just give him a 1-year deal for cheap and then pay Ekblad after Bob leaves? Huh? If that's always a possibility of Ekblad taking a 1-year cheap deal and then he gets paid when Bob leaves. Hungry, yeah, I saw those. I didn't watch them. He says he ran into something interesting yesterday. Fox Business had a feature on Zito and how he turned the Cats around, and TSN had a feature on the Cats' resurgence. Yeah, they came up on my feed, but I didn't click them. I might watch those this afternoon. Man, I'd love to bang the drum. My shoulder's in good enough shape now. Steven says, if the Panthers don't win the Stanley Cup next year, I hope whoever Marner goes to wins just to see Dangle's reaction. It would be worse, Steven. Imagine if Bennett did go to Toronto and Marner did come to Florida and then we still beat the Leafs and won the Cup again. That would be it for Dangle. He'd probably have to quit. Trey. Prague, and I hope I'm right too. Can't hurt to put it out there, right? Ted, I think they're going to be able to keep Bennett and Ekblad. Well, let's put it this way. Bennett and one of the two. Bennett and one of the two. It's kind of pipe dreamish to think that we could keep all 3. That'd be a miracle. If anybody could do it, Zito can. Yeah, we can have a cardboard cutout of Keith Yandel play. We could just go 11-7 every night. Doesn't matter. Minimum wage, either way. Right? Al said, yeah, Verhaeghe and Jones are making plays now too. Yes, exactly. Hungry says Dangle's existence has to be one continuous Vietnam flashback at this point. I have empathy for him. He still can't say stupid shit, but I do have empathy for him. Silva says, imagine Bennett goes to Toronto, 7-12, regresses to regular season Calgary form. Marner comes to Florida, becomes a playoff performer. We win the cup, and Marner wins the console. Oh, my God. Prager says, I can't help but think Marchand will do a Drew Tarasenko move and move on. Well, I don't think we were ever really interested in re-signing Giroux or Tarasenko. They played decent. You know what I mean? Marchand makes this team better. Like, Giroux fit in. He helped us win around. Tarasenko fit. But Marchand makes this team significantly better. Significantly better. And you can keep, honestly, if you could keep Bennett and sign Marchand, I'd be willing to let Ekblad go and get a cheaper replacement with Mikkola. Because with Bennett staying and keeping Lundell and Marchand on the third line, we're going to score 8 goals a game next year if that happens. We won't need no stinking defense. I mean, I hate to watch Ekblad go, but if it's my money, I'm paying Bennett, and then I'm asking Marchand, what's the lowest you'll take? And then if I can sign him, I go back to Ekblad and be like, you can have $50. That's what I got. I got $50. Take it or leave it. Oh, I don't know, Matthew. Jakob Kindle existed. There's always Jakob Kindle, Matthew. Yeah, Ted, the internet right now is okay. Hey, Hockey Rob, how you doing, brother? Literally Stu. How you doing, bud? Good to see you're still up and kicking around. Very, very cool. Obviously, I'm not on Twitter much these days. I like my brain cells. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't even know who the president is anymore. I don't know anything about what's going on in the world. I like it that way. How you doing, Rob? Anthony says, Josh, for me, I think the most likely, too, that we keep Bennett and Marchand and let Ekblad walk, because I think it's easier to find a defenseman and a forward in free agency. Seb Jones also helps, right? I mean, having basically an Ekblad replacement and a minute eater, that helps. Oh, boy, Silva. I don't know. I don't know about what McDavid. McDavid's going to need a contract soon. Adonis says, crazy that Schmidt could re-sign here for cheap considering how good the team has been, and then everyone will just say it's the state taxes. Anybody could have signed Schmidt. So, exactly. Yeah, Marchand makes this team so much better. I says Marchand's only 37, though. Well, I mean, downhill at what point? He clearly has gas in the tank right now, right? When you look at what Corey Perry's doing, if you've got Marchand on the third line, right? Remember, Boston had him playing in the top 6. If you can keep Marchand on the third line, I feel like he's got at least 2 more good years in him. Patel, yeah, the MVP of the playoffs is the Panthers' third line, no doubt. Al thinks anyone can do what Ekblad is doing this season. We just need someone who's willing to do it. Well, I mean, he's playing well. But if we could only pick two, I hate to lose Ekblad because he is a big part of the team. They got to get together and find a way where all three guys just stay. Hey, Dana. Hungry makes a really good point. He says, I really want Marchand to stay because he can be Luosterainen and Lundell's Yager. That's a really good point. Luosterainen needs a contract soon, too. He's fixing to get some money. Trey. Oh, my God. Adonis says Marchand has the juice even at this age, and he's pushing everyone else to play better. Just what we said about Sam Miskevich needed to play because he's giving the other players energy. That's a good point. That's a really good point. The energy that we lost pulling Sam Miskevich off the ice has been replaced by Marchand. I didn't think about it that way. Anthony, right. People forget. I think that was part of the Seth Jones trade was because they knew we might not be able to sign Ekblad. There you go, Eyes. We'll get Pesic back. Yeah, Dana is Hockey Rob from Twitter. Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, bud. He says, Jaws, how do you feel running a channel that's seen this team go to 3 straight Cup finals with an even brighter future? I mean, we've been streaming these games for 3 years. I've said it before. I'll keep saying it because it keeps working. But we've made it to the Stanley Cup finals every year that we've streamed the games. Like, I don't know, unless there's somebody, and I'm assuming there is, but unless there's a fan channel for the Chiefs that streams every game, there's no other. Well, no, Tampa. There's the guy at Tampa. Now, does he stream every Tampa game? What I'm trying to get at is there anybody else who runs a fan channel who streams the games and their team has made it to 3 straight championships? It's Lucky doesn't even cover it. It's just like it's a surreal feeling. David says everybody shitting on Ek doesn't understand the Cats' core game philosophy. Ekblad's a key part of it. I don't think we're shitting on him. I just think he needs to take less money so we can keep Bennett and Marchand. Like, if we keep all 3 guys, if we win this cup here, if we finish off this series against Edmonton and keep all 3 guys and we stay even remotely close to healthy, we're going to win again. We could win 3 in a row. If we win this one and keep all 3 guys a whole year, any of these guys get dinged, you can, let them rest. Hey, Great White. Kenneth, who's the backup goalie next year? I'm thinking Alex Lyon. Why not bring him back? He plays for $900,000. We're going to have to go really cheap. We already know the guy's a gamer and can help us out. That's what I'd like to see. It makes sense, right? Al says they could underpay Ekblad drastically and promise him a job with the organization when he's done on the ice. He's already all over the building. That's not a bad idea. I don't think he's going to leave. Oh, my God, Trey says McDavid is going to Montreal. Wow. Now, Montreal with McDavid and a goalie would be a problem. That would be a problem. Eyes, man, I wish, right? I just want a picture with it. Just get Chucky to bring it down here. I mean, it doesn't have to be Chucky, but Chucky seems like to be if there was going to be a guy that would be like, F it, I'll bring the cup to Jaws and Kyle, it would be Chucky, right? He owes me for speaking his trade into existence anyway. If I never say that, Zito doesn't get the idea, and it never happens. Oh, I hope people don't take me seriously when I say that. I didn't hate Schmidt, Matthew. I didn't hate him. I just didn't like how he was playing. But there's none of the guys I hate, except I wasn't a fan of Yandel. Yandel's beard is just unnaturally dark. It's like if you're going to color it, it's like, come on, man. Matthew thinks Perry is on some kind of juice. I can't speak to that. I'm on my own juice. True says, yeah. I know he's not here anymore. No, that was True. That was Hockey Rob from Twitter. But he's got a nickname, Stu Pickles. I don't know what the whole story there is. I have to ask him. But that was an old friend of mine, Hockey Rob from Twitter. He's in some of the earlier, not in some of the earlier skit videos, but his name is mentioned a lot the first couple of years of the channel. Good guy. Oh, there he is. There he is. He says at some point Florida's going to have to start plugging in younger, cheaper talent. Forsling and Jones are great together. You're looking for a bottom 3D, assuming Mikkola is your number 3. Well, we got to sign Sam Miskevich too, right? And you're going to want to make room for Sordev. And I don't disagree with you wanting to get to continue to get younger. But damn, you got to keep winning cups while you can. And we don't really have much in the way of AHL guys on defense ready to come up. But you got to assume next year you want to see Sam Miskevich keep that spot. And like I've said, no disrespect. If you have to trade Erod so you can keep Bennett, Marchand, and Ekblad, you got Sam Miskevich. That would be one way. You know what I mean? Because Erod at some point is going to need a contract again, and we may not pay him. Exactly, Steven. Trey says, so in hockey, someone will F with a guy trying to get him to punch him, and when the punch comes, they flop and get the call. That's what we're doing. Yep. Exactly, Trey. I know. John says, Marchand has made Luostarinen a point producer and a tough guy. He really has. I hope he can stay. Hey, sticky hockey guys, hockey cards. Yeah, exactly. Zito better get the Gregory Award this year. Speaking of Bill Zito, I have something coming out later. Mike, so I don't know if I already explained this, but so Hockey Rob is a friend of mine from Twitter from way back in the day when I first started the channel. He's got himself nicknamed Stu Pickles or something, but I don't think that has anything to do with the Stu that was on this channel before. Yeah. Hey, Dana. Dana, I should hold on. Let me post the link. Hold on, Dana. Hold on. Bear with me. I know I'm behind in the chat. Let's get over here. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. It's not letting me do it. I have to come over this way. Just bear with me. I'm trying to get Dana the link here, but I have to copy and paste it from, here we go. All right, where's my cursor? Don't you hate that? All right. Okay, this should do it. Here you go, Dana. There you go. For anybody who wants to become a member, there's thing. Whoop! I see I got a bunch of stuff here that I missed while I was doing that. All right, let's see what we got. Holy crap! Thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you, bud. Thank you, my friend. Damn. He says, let's just come out next game and start fights like the Oilers do. Oh, man. I know they're so dirty and we're so clean. The Panthers are a very clean team. We never start anything. We would never do anything to get under anybody's skin. I don't know why Edmonton would do any of that. Dana, did you figure it out? There you go, Dana. So you lost. Oh, Dana, dang it. So unfortunately, now it shows Dana as a new member when she's quite literally the longest running member in the channel. She was a member day one. And now it says you're just a new member. Dang, Dana. I can't give you a refund though for all of that. For all the years of support. I can't give you a refund. Dang. I wonder if I'll have to look in my settings and see if I can make an adjustment that way. Paragon says the Panthers are the cleanest team in the league. Yeah. Trey says I got an SDPN membership last game while sitting in here. Man. John, start a fundraiser to keep the 3 players. You'll give $5,000 right now. Yeah, we just have to pay them on the side. We just have to pay them on the side. That's all. Hungry. That's funny, man. No, I don't think Dangle's a member, unfortunately, right? Pente says Marchand wouldn't be the same player without the Cat's support and depth. It fits perfectly. Hey, Rosato, how you doing? Dan, I don't know what anybody else is saying. I'm just trying to put out positive vibes. That's all I know. All I know is last year I never considered the possibility that we were not going to win the cup because of what was going on with Fluffy, and we won the cup. So I am just going to continue to act as if we are winning the cup because it worked last year. So that's what I'm doing anyway. Anthony says, Jaws, since we're not going to be having, I think, a ton of first or second round draft picks in the next few years, I think what's going to be happening is we really need to see if we can find a steal. If you really look at what we've been able to do, especially through trades, the scouts have done a tremendous job of finding guys that will fit what we're doing. Luosterainen is a perfect example. We got Luosterainen in the Trocheck trade. And, you know, everybody that we've gotten in has slotted into a certain role. And, yeah, we've given up first-round picks to be able to do it. But those guys were never going to develop while Bobrovsky was still good enough to win. You know what I mean? And so when Zito came in, he was kind of in a time crush where it's like, you had Barkov, Ekblad. You had, at that point, you still had Huberdeau. You had guys that were going to be in their prime right now. And you had Bobrovsky, who was, you know, hopefully crossing your fingers, still going to be a good goalie right now. So he had to make things happen quicker because otherwise you would have had, if you waited on the draft too much, guys like Sam Miskevich, right? And Lundell, very good players. They're developing fantastically, but we had to fill those slots in. And, yeah, we're going to pay the price a little bit with not having the first-round picks. But as long as the scouts stay around and we can get guys like Luosterainen, Rodriguez is another guy that we got in that just fit perfectly. Jesper Bohlquist has fit in perfectly. Right? So the scouts, to me, are doing an excellent job of filling in the gaps there. What do we got here? Hey, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. She says Marchand's going to want $6 to $7 million when we win the cup, and he's definitely going to get it. He could get it if he wants it. Yes, no doubt. But would he stay for 4? Would he stay for 4? You know what I mean? That's the question. I think if the Panthers made the moves, or if you put Chucky on LTIR, I mean, I know I joke about it, but that's still a real possibility that they would put Chucky on LTIR. Could be wishful thinking. We could get to the end of the season and Chucky be like, I'm fine. I don't need surgery. You never know. But I haven't given up hope on what could happen because I look at what Forsling signed for, and I don't think any of us thought that's what Forsling was fixing to get. Like, Forsling took a heavy, heavy discount over what he could have gotten. So I just haven't given up hope. But you're not wrong. Marchand will get 6 or 7 if he wants it and he wants to go somewhere. He'll get it. But if we could find 4 and he would stay for 4, maybe. Rick says, did hockey and sports media set McDavid up for a big fall? Is this the last time we see McDavid in the finals for a while? I don't think so. I think that even if Florida wins this cup, I think Edmonton will be back again next year. You could legitimately see the same 2 teams next year. I don't think anybody in the West is close to Edmonton. I don't know if anybody is close to beating Edmonton in a 7-game series. And for Florida, we all know it just depends on health and how many guys we keep. But I get people thinking maybe, McDavid would want to move on if they don't win. But it's not like there's another team other than what Trey said is one thing that would worry me. If Montreal set things up to be like, come on, we can pay you. Montreal's fixing to be really good if they get the right goalie and McDavid. Yeah. Hey, Rosado. He says, I fully believe that Ekblad would even accept $1.25 million, just some extra bonuses, right? Craig says, we just get the other team's first rounders with a few miles on them. Exactly. Great White, thanks for asking. Yeah, Leia's feeling much better. Donna was getting these things called bark boxes. I guess they've got treats and whatnot. And I guess she had some treats the other night and then did not feel well. But she threw up. Now she's fine. Threw up on the carpet. Now she's fine. Jameson says in South Florida, the cup tax means you take less money and less term to stay and keep playing consecutive Stanley Cup finals. Yeah, exactly. The players are paying the cup taxes, right? No problem, Rick. I appreciate it, bud. Steven says, according to Eck, yes, because $4 million would be worth $7 million anywhere else. Mike, we can always Nancy Kerrigan, Matthew Tkachuk. Oh, that's rich. Just Chucky, just sit down. Chucky, you're hurt. Look, you can't even stop. You're hurt, right? Just get your surgery. Take a break. Take a rest. My God. I want to see the reaction. I want to see the reaction from the hockey community if we did that. If we just won 2 cups in a row and the Panthers did that. Oh, it would be glorious. Communist says X video left a bad taste in your mouth. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. All right, David, take it easy, bud. Hungry. John says Forsling was a steal. Last year he was plus 87. My God. IDK says we haven't won anything yet. Stop talking like we have. Well, I don't mind the positive vibe. I think everybody here knows, especially it's a day off. I think everybody here knows what we're up against tomorrow. Hey, Adonis, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, my friend. Anthony says, if McDavid doesn't re-sign with Edmonton, I've been saying this as my predictions for a while, the teams he would be with Vegas, Philly, or Tampa. Oh, McDavid in Vegas, that would be dangerous. Tampa, I don't know what their cap situation is. Philadelphia would be curious. Why you think Philadelphia? Craig, yeah, the Ducks will be much improved, right? Fly Guy says Lundell for $5 million, Mikula $2.5 million, Boquist $1.5 million, Reinhardt $8 million, Swaggy $7 million, Greer $850,000, Lusty $3 million. It seems as though Zito is a magician. It's good stuff. It's good work. There was one more in there too, right? Well, he made the Bennett trade, and then he signed Bennett. That Bennett deal that he's on is a Zito deal too. Adonis, no, can't stop now. I already jumped off the content bridge. No stopping now. Montreal's top players are all making $8 million. True says, how does the Panthers NHL with music channel sound? Yes, as long as you don't mind everything getting copyrighted, right? As long as you're not trying to make any money with it. We're getting there, Rosado, 9.25. John says this team is humble, up 2-1, and nobody is taking anything for granted. Besides, Maurice won't allow it. Yeah, Adonis, the horn was broken the other night. I guess they were playing a recording of the horn. But it worked, right? Yeah, good point, Bragan says we rightly celebrate Zito, but having the Wongo, Hornquist, and Thornton in the back office is also a huge factor. Amen. Rosado, we're getting close, man. We're getting close. I don't know if we'll get to 10. If we win Thursday, maybe we'll do something Friday night. We'll see. And Donna's going to be here. Maybe we'll have like a prep stream. You know what I mean? I'll have to figure out what to call it. Like a make sure the Panthers get their head on straight stream. Ted says both teams are excellent. Cannot take Game 4 for granted. Panthers must come out strong. They have to play better, right? Because look, we whooped their ass in Game 3. That's great. There was not a lot of 5-on-5 time. Okay, we had 3 power play goals, so we had 3 5-on-5 goals, which is fine. But we are not going to play the same team in Game 3 or in Game 4. You know that they're going to come out wild and crazy, and we just got to be prepared for it. Almost like it's a road game. You know what I mean? Just skate them to death. And I think that's why we, if it's true that we've been taking time off where the top guys have not been skating, I think that they're just wanting to, remember Game 1 was overtime, Game 2 was 2 overtimes. And we've talked about this before where it's not just the physicality of this team, but it's the ability to just skate the other teams into the ground. Edmonton's, let's look at this. I want to see what the time on ice is. You scroll down to the bottom here real quick. Rosado, yeah, the Muppet Vision, that sucks, man. Let me see. Let me come over here. I want to see what the time on ice is. The last game was the 9th. Let me see. Are they going to give it to me here? No, here we go. Time on ice, Edmonton. So in the 6-1 game, the time on ice might be a little bit skewed, right? They don't. Oh, this is not the way I want it. I see. What was McDavid's time on ice? See, Draisaitl had only 13 minutes. Wow, Draisaitl was only even power play. No, that's 19. So 20 minutes. That's not so bad. What about McDavid? Nugent Hopkins didn't have heavy time on ice. 20 minutes. Connor McDavid's time on ice was, so their time on ice the other night was not huge, right? But when they've been in games, they've been double shifting those guys a lot, and I just feel like we could just skate them to death. We'll be in good shape. Vipers, hot dog on your new account. All right, buddy. Good job, bud. Amanda says, Panthers learned from last season. They're stronger, more dominant. Time to shut it down. We are built for this. We are not, I say, not underestimating our opponent. Exactly. Donna says, I was wondering if you want me to get you something from the game shop tomorrow, puck, magnet. Oh, man, a magnet would be cool. Man. Yeah, just email me, Adonis, flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com. Yeah, magnet would be cool. Over the summer, we're going to be redoing the entire downstairs. I didn't want to do it in the middle of the season. You guys know I wanted to do it last year, but it's in with what happened with Fluffy. But we're going to be we might just be getting all new furniture. We're going to be completely remaking the room. We're going to be upgrading I'm going to get this set up so that I'm going to get a new camera and make it so that the streams are high quality 4K and not what we're dealing with just the little webcam right now. So there's going to be some serious upgrades for the start of next season. So that's going to include I'm saying that because Adonis is talking about sending me a puck. We've got so many things that we want to display properly. So we're going to make an investment that way. It's some puck display cases and whatnot, and try to get that room set up proper. Wow, Drew Doughty was playing 27 minutes a night in the first round. Jeez. John, the time on ice, exactly, because of the ejections. Yeah. Very cool, hot dog. Very cool, buddy. Rosado says stream Magda at Wimbledon. We'd have to have another channel for that, right? Yeah, the time on ice, cool. Yeah, exactly. So Anthony says, do people blow it out of proportion that Florida is taking advantage of the poor ice conditions with their play style? That's physical, no-nonsense style. I mean, I thought the ice in Edmonton was pretty bad. I don't necessarily know that we want. I mean, I'm sure we wouldn't mind the ice being a little bit slower because Edmonton is faster, but it counts both ways. If Edmonton is a half a step slower because of the ice, Florida's still going to be a half a step slower, right? We play on the same ice, so I don't know really how much of an advantage that is. Yeah, John Marie said this is the best team he's ever coached. Yeah, when you throw Marchand into the mix, I mean, good God, right? JC says, I said that last year. Bring you in for the decoration and display. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I definitely have the best. Yes, I agree with you, JC. JC, you know why I didn't do it last year, man. Come on now. You know why I didn't do it, right? Dog died. Karen left 2 weeks later. There was no energy left to be able to do it. You know what I mean? main thing is, it's going to cost a couple of bucks. We got to switch everything over. We got to slide it over so that we're not watching the TV this way. We got to make a lot of changes. We'll test it out the beginning of the year in football, so that way if there's any things we need to move around and all of that, we'll have it set by the time hockey shows up. And these people say Edmonton has a fast, smoother ice. That's why they're so successful. I got you. I don't know. Their ice the other night was terrible. Rosado, you were at 360. Wrong says TSN commented how Martian doesn't trash talk the Oilers and is respectful. I think it's a Panthers tactic because Bob, Sasha, Chucky, they all compliment the opponent. I think it's part of not underestimating. I agree. Yeah, JC, we'll talk about it, brother. We'll talk about it. I gotta have the funds to figure out, the display cases and all of that stuff. I probably got to move that couch that's behind us. It's a wreck. The whole thing is a wreck. It really is. Well, we'll definitely chat about it after the season is over, brother. Steven says anything except give the Panthers credit. Right. All right. Thank you, Adonis. Appreciate that, bud. Viper or hot dog. Yeah, it's the same. Yes, there's the day off because of the NBA finals. Zato, maybe I'll consider it. Dude, John, do I really think Skinner? That might have been a little bit hyperbolic. But that's entertainment, right? I mean, he was fine. Do I think he was faking it? Bennett fell on his leg. He didn't show any ill effects. It's not even like he got around and skated around and saw if he was okay. I'm sure he was playing it up, but I mean, it was weird because he didn't act like it was a leg thing. He acted like there was something else wrong. He wasn't grabbing his leg or whatever. But it's all in good fun, man. I'm certainly not going to be doing what Dangle did and accusing anybody of trying to do anything on purpose. He's trying to draw a call. It worked. Good on him. I don't know, John. They don't know, or Knobloch said there's going to be changes. I don't know. I mean, Picard's done well, right? But just throwing a guy in there in Stanley Cup Finals against this Panthers team, I don't know about that either, right? Rosado, yeah, it's getting scratchy. I know. For me, it gets wet here when I brush my teeth. I can't stand it. Colin, the beginning to Private Eyes was the intro song on my answering machine back when I was a kid. The guitar intro to Private Eyes was what you heard before you heard the beep and left the message. Anthony says the reason why I'm asking is that people say Florida's style benefits the choppy ice that our home rink has because of how physical we are. There was a goalie that used to build like a snow he'd build like snow in front of the ice. I forget who that was. In front of the net, he'd take the ice and build up a little thing there. Jeff, yeah, man, good times. The concerts were fantastic. They got old now, though. Manda says, can I go out on a limb that Lundell has more to grow and he's having an amazing finals, 15 points in 20 games outside. He's outstanding. He's baby Barkov for sure. Oh, he definitely, he's only 23, right? When Barkov was 23, he was getting his ass handed to him by Tavares. Let me think when that was. Well, no, that might not have been when he was 23. I take that back. He got that was the Islander series that he got taken. So he wouldn't have been 23 then. But to your point, yeah, Lundell definitely, I think he's going to continue to get better. Hungry says, add ice quality to the Oilers' wheel of excuses, right? Don says they're successful because of the ice and not McDavid and the team. I don't know, man. I mean, it's the internet has broken fans of losing teams' minds. Like, it can no longer just be these guys are good, these guys weren't as good, the good guys won the game. Like, somewhere along the way, the internet has created this culture where there has to be some excuse. It can never just be these guys were better than us. Whatever the sport is, it just has to be the refs or the Bills losing to the Dolphins, saying it was too hot. It's like you were all on the same field, dumbass. Rogan says apparently Skinner is called Mr. Game 4, huh? Hall and Zito, good Lord. Probably like me. Probably would sound like it was sung by Hall and me. Trey. Green Loogie says Edmonton can get quite warm, but not Florida warm, but it's not cold there this time of year. Interesting. Anthony, that's a really good question. He says, do I agree with people saying that they should eliminate the LTR because it's a way for teams to circumvent the cap to add players when they're over the cap already? That's such a difficult question because it's the question is, should we punish the people that have a legitimate reason for it because some teams might not have a legitimate reason, right? So that's really the difficult part. I don't know if they should eliminate it. Maybe there could be some tweaking of things, right? But there's also legitimate times when teams should be able to use it. It's a good question, though. Jameson Mackey finished 11th in Rookie of the Year. That's nice. That's good. TK, yeah, goalies will get the Conn Smythe. Yeah, for sure. Sure thing, Don June. Kazuma says, have I thought upgrading the camera feels the quality is a little grainy at first and thought it was YouTube? Well, this is just a webcam. You talking about the live streams or you talking about the recaps? The recap camera is an expensive camera. It's old. It's like 8 or 9 years old. So I might be looking at just getting something that I can set up that I can stream from, but also I actually might consider streaming from the GoPro because that gets really good high quality film, you know what I mean, picture. Whatever the case is, I'm going to be upgrading for next season. That's for sure. Adonis. Skinner is 6-0 with a 955 in game 4s. Huh. Adonis, yeah, if he had won the cup in 23, Aiden Hill would have been given the Conn Smythe. Oh my God, it's Skinner. Me and Kyle doing it private. I don't think you'd ever see Kyle singing on camera. I don't think he'd go for it. No can do. He was comparing Gadget to one of the bushwalkers. That's funny. Oh, man. Guitar Girl. I used to always snack on cookies and brownies during the games, but I quit sugar and gluten a month ago, and I still feel like hell. They say sugar is the hardest thing to kick, and you can see, yeah, your body gets used to it. Your body gets used to it, and you get the bacteria in your stomach changes, and oh God, yeah, when you have to quit sugar, man, it's rough. It'll get better. It'll get better. JC. I think that was Hasek. Yeah, I used to chop up the crease. Yeah, hungry. Yeah. Donnie says, Lundell, I would say, is better than Nugent Hopkins at this point. I don't think it's crazy to say. Huh. He's really coming into his own, that's for sure. Trey. Oh, man. Sabuka says, I'm so ready for game 4. Let's hope no more double overtimes because I ended up going to sleep at 5 a.m. I feel you there. That's right, Rosario. He also got his ass handed to him by the 2020 Islanders. That's the one I was thinking about. But was Tavares with them, or was he already with Toronto then? When did Tavares get to Toronto? I think that was around that same time. Talbot, the people's ability to think or act objectively is just not there anymore, right? Don, Marchand is right. Lundell could have all the girls in Sunrise if he wanted. Lundell has a girlfriend. That's good. Good for him. Go make some babies. Somebody downvoted the stream. Oh, well, that's okay. Anthony, I don't know about rigged, but I don't think you could do it this time. McDavid had such an amazing playoffs last year. If Florida wins this cup, there would really be no justification for McDavid winning it. Like if Florida wins the next 2 games, if Florida wins in 5, I don't think there would be any justification for McDavid getting the Conn Smythe this time. Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, bud. He says, Hamburger Hut. Is squid good shark bait? No. However, you can catch shark bait with squid. Okay? Put the squid on the bottom, catch a big, fat, juicy blue runner. All right? Give it a little slice with the sharp knife so it's just starting to bleed. Hook him around the mouth, throw his ass out there on your big pole, and hold on. You could catch a kingfish, catch a sailfish, but 50-50 is going to be a shark. Thank you, Amanda. Good stat there. Kus says Skinner was also 2-0 with a 1,000 save percentage this postseason after a loss, and we hammered 5 past them, so past performances mean nothing. That's a good stat. Jacob, what's my prediction for the Benner to Ekblad contracts? So, my prediction or my wishful thinking? My wishful thinking is that Bennett takes 8, Ekblad takes 5, and Marchand takes 4, and we trade Rodriguez to fill the spot. And we trade Rodriguez to make the cap hit. 8, 5, and 4 seems like the lowest wishful thinking number that I could ever imagine. I admit that. Bennett, I don't think we're going to pay much more than somewhere between 7 and Reinhardt's contract, I think, is where Bennett's going to actually end up if he stays. Ekblad, man, that's no idea. nothing would shock me. I mean, we can't pay him because we just paid Seth Jones. If you pay Bennett 8 and Ekblad 7, you're going to have to move somebody to fill out the roster because you got to pay Sam Iskevich and you have to get a backup goalie. So, Simon, the internet is not fixed just yet. It's not fixed. The dude came and they see the problem, but they can't figure out what the problem is. So his supervisor is going to call me. So it's not fixed yet. I did get to the gym yesterday. Fishing, probably not until Friday. Probably Friday. It's going to be really hot tomorrow. I'm not going out there in 90-degree weather. Don't need to do that. But I think it's supposed to rain on Friday. So I'll probably go out there on Friday before the rain because the fish will start. The fish will eat before a low pressure system comes in. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. Yeah, he was 19 years old when he faced Tavares the first time. That's right. That is correct. Oh, Simon, who do I want on the drum? I'd love to see a former Panther. I'd really love to see a former Panther on the drum. Honestly. I don't think we're going to be covering the Calder Cup. I got to talk to Kyle about it since he calls the games. Not sure, to be honest with you. I got to figure out where I could even get it if it's being streamed. But I'm not sure what Kyle's going to want to do. I got to ask. I got to talk with him. Not to throw him under the whole bus, but I don't know. I also might not want to do it because of bad juju. If I start streaming them and we lose, it's my fault. Right? Bill says 9, 5, and 3.5. Does that work? 9, 14, 17.5. You still got to trade Rodriguez. We got 19 million. So to sign all three, you'd have to move Rodriguez pretty much no matter how you do the math. That's the thing. Because we got 19. Yeah. If you give 9 and 5 and don't sign Marchand, then we can just flesh out the roster and we would lose Marchand. But boy, if we could keep him somehow. I do think Bennett would stay for 8, Jimbo. But it's not my money. I think at the worst he'll get, like Trey was saying, he'll get what Reinhart got. Or what Reinhart got. It's on Flow Hockey. Is that right? It's the hockey guys team. Rosado, they won't even answer my emails. I've tried contacting them multiple times. I get no response. Right? Stop trying to get rid of Erod. I'm just trying to keep Marchand. Oh, in a muscly suit like the one fan, right? Yep. All right, everybody, I got to roll. Oh, shit. Thank you, Great White. We'll take a minute. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. What do you say? Just a public announcement. Please don't catch and eat the sharks. Exactly. Now, I've caught one shark in my whole life. I've caught one shark in my whole life. Now, Rosado, that's an idea. You guys can message them. But if you're going to message them, tell them I want a picture with the cup. Tell them they got to bring me the cup. It's all wishful thinking. But yeah, thank you again, Great White. Yeah, I've caught one shark in my life. It wasn't on purpose. I was surf fishing, and I think I had a what are those fish that you catch in the surf? Whiting. I had a whiting on, and then the shark kind of got tangled up and ended up kind of wrapping around his body and hooking on the top of his fin. One wild and crazy guy. Yeah, man. The low taxes thing to me is just junk. It is bad amounts of coke. We'll put it that way. It's bad amounts of coke. Eyes, yeah. He's asking about Twisted Wrister. He's not doing a whole lot of videos. He's got a contract he's working with. He had to pause, so he had to make some money. You know what I mean? He wasn't making what he needed to. So he's been doing that. I talked to him last week. He's doing good though. He's doing good. He's got a girl. They moved in together. Cortana's doing good. So everything there is good. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the love and support. Tomorrow at noon, we should be good to go on time. I don't know if I'm going to go fishing today. We'll check that out. But at worst, we'll do that Friday for the members. So, all right, everybody. Woo! Oh, I have a video coming out later this afternoon or first thing in the morning, depending on how long it takes me to put it together. So, yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate the support. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.